Hey guys, it's B here, and today I have another one take review for you. I'm coming to Instagram with these reviews now simply because they are so personal to me, and what better community to share it with than the Instagram community here, which I have become a part of the last year. It is amazing and like a big warm blanket, so it makes so much sense to have them here. I'm still going to have them over on YouTube as well for people who prefer their video content there, but they are here to stay on Instagram. So thank you so much for joining me. If this is the first time you've watched one of my one take reviews, they are reviews shot in one single take, so there'll be no editing, there's no scripting, and it is just me going like, blah, I love a game, or blah, I kind of don't. And for better or for worse, really, it can really go either way. But yeah, this is just a way for me to share more personally my experiences with games. I find the reviews that speak to me the loudest are the ones where I get an idea of how a game made a person feel. You know, you can tell me about mechanics and components all day, but if that game makes you fall in love, or if that game makes you feel something, I am way more interested in hearing about that. So this is my way of doing that. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today I really want to talk about the game that kind of started it all for me. And no, I don't mean Clank in Space, though that game was the one that made me fall in love with the hobby. The one that made me aware of the hobby again was actually Dragonwood by Game Right. So if you have followed me along from the start, you probably already know this, that Dragonwood was one of the ones from the very beginning. And if not, then this is one of the ones from the very beginning. So for a little bit of context, I suppose, as to why Dragonwood would be the one to start it for me, I played games as a child. Like many of you, I played the originals, the classics, like, you know, the Monopoly and the Life, things like that. As a teenager, we played some Atmosphere as a family, and that Harry Potter trivia game, which is quite hard to find now, was always really fun. Then as a late teen and early adult, I dipped away completely from board gaming and I became more of a console gamer. My husband started working with a group of people who played board games at lunchtimes, and they invited us to a games night. It was a bad experience. We went there, and straight away they split us off into two groups of boys and girls, which, if you've ever done this, it's not cool. It doesn't feel cool. It's just, yeah, girls and boy groups, it's not necessary. The guys sat around this epic looking fantasy role-play game with minis, and they sat us in front of a game about pandas. I've later found out that game is Takenoko, and it's actually quite cool, but on the night I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I couldn't stop looking over at the guys' table to see what they were doing. It looked so much more exciting and so much more my style, because I'm a massive fantasy medieval fan. And yeah, it was just a really bad experience. It rubbed me the wrong way, and I was like, nope, not interested in doing any more of those. So I didn't for quite a few years. And then I had a friend who has been my friend for over 10 years now. She came to visit and she bought Dragonwood, and I was like, yeah, okay, we'll give this a go. You know, I wasn't super excited simply because of that bad experience, but as soon as I saw the box and I saw the dragon, I was like, oh, it's a dragon, cool. And we started playing it, and it was like really fun. There was lots of, you know, little social aspects of it, of trying to get something before the other person. And you know, the dice is really cool looking. All the artwork is awesome. The fantasy artwork, the heroes are super cool. They had girls in the artwork as well, which, you know, it's not a big deal anymore, but you know, it kind of feels like a big deal for women when you see women represented in board games still to this day. So that was really cool. And there was equality there, like they weren't worth any more or less than the male cards. So that was cool. But yeah, it was just a really fun night, and I immediately messaged my husband. Was like, I think he was in Canada at the time on a trip, and I said, please, naive as I wasn't sure if Australia sold board games at that time, which is weird, but I messaged him and said, can you please find this game in a game shop in Canada somewhere? So this copy is actually Canadian, which is a fun fact now, but you can get them everywhere. Later found out. But this is the game that first made me go, okay, cool, this is something I want to explore more. I tried a few more games after that. I think there was Japur, And then very soon after it was Clank in Space. We started inviting, I think my husband was going to a games group at that time, and he would leave the house to go to that because I wasn't interested in the gaming, obviously, because of that bad experience. But after playing this game with my friend, I was like, hey, I want to get involved in this. Can you invite them around to our place as well? So we started having, I think it was fortnightly game nights at our house as well. And that's how we got introduced to a lot of our games. And Clank in Space particularly was the one that was like, made me the obsessive person that I am today. But it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for this beautiful little card game, which is often overlooked because of maybe the size of the box, or maybe the fact that it looks like it's maybe more kiddish. It's definitely in the family gaming market, and I have been able to play this with my younger kids with some modified rules. But it's just simply a lot of fun. Like if you need a quick game, if you need an accessible game, a great gateway game, if you've got a lot of family around who don't game, this one would be perfect for that. It's got the set collection, it's got the dice rolling, it's got the fantasy theme, it's a little bit racy, it's a little bit social, but it's just, yeah, it's just a fun little game. So Dragonwood, you know, I'm gonna give Dragonwood a hard to rate a game that has so much attachment to that nostalgic feelings and memories. So, but to be fair to the other games that I have rated in the past, which are far more complex in their design and also in that thematic tie-in, I'm gonna give Dragonwood a 7 out of 10 for Dragonwood there. If you're looking for a family-friendly game with a fantasy theme, one that you can play with almost anybody, Dragonwood is probably one of those ones you can look for. Thank you so much for watching this one take review, and I hopefully will see you next time. Bye.